my own personal opinion, which is kind of an awkward statement. This is Dario Argento's own personal masterpiece. Opera. It is kind of like the 1980s version of Saw. I know I've been gone for a bit, guys. I've just been going through a lot, and I have been just drained from school and everything, so bear with me. These reviews will be finished. What is the plot for Opera? So, during a stage rehearsal, a performer, the opera singer, is frustrated because she can't work with this raven. Everyone's driving her insane, so she runs out and into the streets, into a car that hits her, of course. And she's out of the play now. They replace her with a younger, probably less experienced performer. And she has to really shine to get through to the audience. So during her performance, she's nailing it. And then one of the lights from the sets falls down onto the ground and shatters. Finding out after that a man was killed a few balconies up. So was it a obsessed fan, a deranged serial killer? You'll find out when you watch Opera. So it's a mishmash of Dario Argento's earlier works, such as The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Four Flies on Grey Velvet, Suspiria, Tenebrae, Phenomena, etc. Argento's love of music plays a huge part in this film. Of course, it's an opera, so there's gonna be music. It's called opera, for Christ's sake. Christina Marcilak plays Betty, and she is not only the main character, but she is cited by Argento himself to be the most difficult actress he had ever worked with. Daria Nicolodi, from tons of Argento films such as Deep Red and Tenebrae, is back to be in Opera, and I'm glad she came back because I always enjoy her performances. The one who is revealed to be the killer is predictable pretty much right from the get-go. Dario was going through depression at this time, and it was pretty apparent on camera. However, his creative storytelling is still there. The sets look amazing, and the props and people all blend together great, and they send off this warm and cozy vibe, unbeknownst to everyone that there's a killer in the same auditorium. He's amongst them. Argento's style is a bit different here. The camera does not seem to tell the story as much as his previous installments did. The effects seem to take over. This had an $8 million budget, which is pretty impressive for a horror film from back then. It was also used to great effect. Speaking of the effects, the gore, the effects. The second kill is absolutely brutal. We get a knife being jabbed under one's chin. You can see the blade kind of sticking out inside his mouth. Another one involves a man getting the back of his neck slammed against a coat rack over and over until, he's dead. And a woman gets her throat cut open. It's off screen, yet extremely effective and well shot. It's disturbing. There is a bit more, but not too much. I mean, there is one shot where a person gets shot by a bullet, and it's dazzling. I'll talk about it in a short bit. There is an ingenious way they find out who the killer is. They say, oh, this is something that will help us solve who the killer is, earlier on in the film, to that extent. And I was like, yeah, that's how they're gonna solve it. I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen later. And it did. I'm a fortune teller. Okay, you want to know about that bullet hit? I'll jump right to it. It's first done in slow motion. You see the bullet travel through wherever it's being aimed at, which is pretty creative in its own right. And so then it kind of speeds up a little bit, and then it hits the person. And you see it go. It's an amazing shot. I was like, holy shit, the first time I saw it. It's shocking, to say the least. The motion picture soundtrack, it's operatic, of course, but there is some heavy metal in here that actually fits better here than it did in Phenomena. It fits surprisingly well. There are some other main themes that are pretty good, but nothing quite as memorable as Phenomena or Deep Red, or, well, Tenebrae and Suspiria are really good too. They're all really good soundtracks. I love Dario Argento flicks. While not my favorite Argento flick, that title still goes to Deep Red. It is still a strong entry in his filmography. The clever ideas, camera work, effects, and some of the music are great. I was a bit bored by this one in some scenes, but I think if I watch it more than once, it'll grow on me. It's an awesome film. It really does stick with you in certain parts. Other parts, not quite so much. Overall, I give Opera a 3 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Twitter and Facebook fan pages in the description below, and leave comments and subscribe.